Hey everybody, Michael Fabiano here from Sports Illustrated Fantasy, and if you're watching this video, guess what? You've made it to the Fantasy Football Championship. Congratulations out there. It's been a very difficult season, so pat yourself on the back, but do not get passive, right? The waiver wire still got some players that could potentially help you or at least add some depth to your roster for the championship. And for help with who you should be targeting, let's bring in SI Fantasy and betting analyst, the great Jen Piacenti. Jen, let's start off with the quarterback position where we've got not one, but two rookie quarterbacks who people should be targeting.
That's right. Two rookie quarterbacks make the list this week. Now, I want to echo what Fabiano just said, and that is that these picks are more about depth. We know that COVID news is often coming in very late. You could get news as late as Saturday night, Sunday morning, so you need to have depth for every position on your bench this week in case you need to roll one of these guys out. So, number one, I'm looking at Davis Mills. I know, not that exciting. He quarterbacks for the Houston Texans, but he did a great job on Sunday throwing for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he has now put up 3 double-digit PPR point games in a row. It's not a great matchup versus San Francisco. They're in San Francisco, but he could get Brandon Cooks back, which adds him another weapon. So Davis Mills is someone I would be willing to stash on my bench. And then from the same game, it looks like Jimmy G may have an issue with his thumb. We don't know if he's starting. You could take a flyer on Trey Lance, who is someone that in deep leagues is most likely available in 88% of leagues. He has that rushing upside, and as we know, Houston is terrible versus the run, so you never know. Trey Lance could end up being a late pick, a late hero for you should the COVID bug hit. Neither of these guys are startable, but they're good insurance policies.
And also, keep this in mind. All's fair in love in fantasy football championships. Look to block your opponent too. Even if you're not going to play this player that you're going to add, maybe somebody has Jimmy G in a 2 QB league and that's their second quarterback. Well, go out and get Trey Lance because again, blocking is fun and it could potentially help you take home a championship. Let's move on to the running back position where we're going to stick with the Houston Texans theme. I mean, what's going on, Piacenti?
Yeah, so we're looking at Rex Burkhead here. Again, 22 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now it was versus the Chargers run defense. And of course, we don't think the game script will go the same way versus San Francisco. But listen, we didn't think it would go that way versus the Chargers either. We did not expect a blowout from the Texans, but here we are. Now, a lot of you may have lost James Robinson this week. I lost him. It's terrible going into the final championship round with no James Robinson, so you got to look for a running back. And I think Rex Burkhead is probably a better option than his handcuff, which would be Dare Ogunbowale. Dare Ogunbowale carried the ball 17 times for 3.4 yards per attempt. So facing New England, I feel like you're really just gambling on a touchdown. If Rex Burkhead is available, I like him a little bit more because he also has the ability to catch the ball. We've seen him perform well also as a receiver. So Rex Burkhead is someone you can look at. And then also, you may have lost Miles Sanders. It's such a bummer, again, out with a hand injury. Now, it's always a tricky thing trying to predict that backfield in Philadelphia, but what we do know is that it's a run-first team, and we also know they're facing the Giants. They're facing the football team, and the football team is a struggling team. So Boston Scott available in about 80% of leagues. He had the touchdown this week, 20 carries after Miles Sanders left the game. Jordan Howard had 22 carries. Both of them were effective. Both of them could be good runners this weekend versus the football team. So again, also gambling a little bit on that touchdown, but for a better team in the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you're able to get Boston Scott or Jordan Howard, you can also look at Derek Gore now that we know that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not out for the season, but is likely sitting this weekend.
And honestly, Darrell Williams could be floating around out there too, right? Clyde Edwards-Helaire's got the collarbone injury. He's available in about 40% of leagues on Yahoo. In most competitive leagues, he's probably gone. But if you're in a league where somebody dropped him, this could end up being a league-winning pickup for you. So check to see if Darrell Williams is available as well. Let's move on now to the wide receiver position, Jen. And KJ Osborn, who scored a touchdown last week. Adam Thielen continues to deal with that high ankle sprain. And Osborn's got a good matchup this week against Green Bay.
An excellent matchup versus Green Bay. Green Bay has allowed an average of 37 points to the wide receiver position across the past 4 games. I think this is going to be a good game. It's got a relatively high implied points total on SI Sportsbook. KJ Osborn, as you mentioned, 5 for 7 for 68 yards and a touchdown this weekend. And as you said, Adam Thielen, I don't know that he's going to play at all. And if he does, he could be a bit limited. So KJ Osborn, definitely a good option on your waiver wire, especially if you have Adam Thielen. You should definitely pick up that handcuff.
A player that I really like, Isaiah McKenzie, right? Because
yes.
Cole Beasley and Gabriel Davis are not vaccinated. And McKenzie had 12 targets last week. And Atlanta is terrible against slot receivers. So he is definitely available in a lot of leagues. You could pick him up and start him this week. Alan Lazard, also a pretty good option there. Jen likes him, especially with Marquez Valdez-Scantling on the COVID-19 list. And also keep this in mind, folks. Just because a player comes off the list doesn't mean he's going to play a full complement of snaps. See Tyreek Hill in Week 16. Finally, let's go to the tight end position, and we're looking to Chicago for a potential option off the wire, Jen.
Yet again, we have Cole Kmet. Listen, I don't know why this guy can't score a touchdown. Jimmy Graham taking his touchdown away. He made that fantastic grab in the back of the end zone, but it was out of bounds. Kmet continues to play the most snaps on this team, 95% of snaps on Sunday. He caught 4 of his 5 targets for 49 yards, and what you're getting here is a very solid floor. So you need a solid floor tight end. Cole Kmet, he's your guy. He's probably going to get you 8 to 10 points each week, and maybe this week he can even score a touchdown versus the New York Giants. It's a favorable matchup.
Another player I like this week, Gerald Everett. I mean, he's giving you double digits in 3 straight games. The targets are there. He's available in a lot of leagues. And Seattle's got the Lions this week. So Everett also should be someone you should be looking to target off of the waiver wire and tight end.
Where Gerald Everett is getting more attention from us than DK Metcalf. Guys, that's where we are this year. Welcome to 2021. I agree. Gerald Everett also on the list.
Yeah, it is. It's unbelievable. But hey, he's been good, and tight end is a tough position. Jen, thank you so much for all the great information. And of course, if you want to see more players to add off the waiver wire, you can check out Jen's waiver wire column at si.com/fantasy. And also be sure to check out the Sports Illustrated YouTube channel where you can find videos for waiver wire, start 'em and sit 'em, and so much more. And also, folks, remember that just because the fantasy football season is coming to a close, the work's not done here at Sports Illustrated. Continue to come back throughout the entire postseason and the offseason. We'll have all the fantasy football news that you need to prepare for, 2022. Hey, everybody, happy holidays. Have a great new year, and good luck this weekend in your fantasy championships.